Today's front page of the Bendigo Weekly reveals a story with regards to the federal seat of Bendigo for the upcoming September election. The story talks about a Labor Party document which believes that Greg Bickley, the Liberal candidate, has spent so far about $250,000 on his campaign, which is an extraordinary amount of money. Now, this juxtaposed against the Labor Party, who say they've spent about $15,000. Now, anyone who's seen television since Christmas, or obviously looked around, listened to the radio and on newspapers and websites, have seen Greg's advertising, so it's pretty clear that he's spending a fair bit of money, especially compared to Lisa Chester's. But there are two issues I want to talk about that add a bit more value to this story. One of them is that the Liberal Party will no doubt come out and say, look, this is the Labor Party just scaremongering. They're throwing figures out there. We know how great they are with numbers. That's not necessarily the case. These figures are actually from quotes where the Labor Party staffers have actually rung up and said, how much will it cost me to run this certain thing based on what Greg's done? So what that actually means is that these figures are pretty secure. They're also pretty conservative. They argue that he spent a lot more than that, and these are just the things that they can actually guarantee to spend. The other issue of note in this particular story is that Greg Bickley was offered the opportunity to comment on this story himself. But in actual fact, it was left to Michael Ronaldson, the Liberal Senator for the Bendigo area, based out of Ballarat, Liberal Senator for Victoria. He was the one who ended up commenting on it. Now, this is the second time there's been a bit of a controversial issue surrounding the Liberal Party and where Greg Bickley has not commented. The first one was when Lisa Chesters came out and said that she preferred onshore processing for asylum seekers, which went against the Labor Party policy. Now, whilst Greg did comment on the asylum seeker issue, he did not specifically comment on Lisa's commentary. It was left to Senator Ronaldson again to actually get stuck in a rather harsh interview, basically criticised Lisa. So questions I think may be asked about this. Is Greg maybe keeping away from the issues that may get him into trouble? Is he keeping away from the hard issues? I'm not suggesting for a second that this is a motivation, but I can see how questions could be asked, and I think we'll see over the next couple of weeks. This may be a tactic that the Labor Party uses when trying to attack Greg and his credentials. It's certainly one from a media point of view that I think I have issues with. I mean, the obvious one is if he gets elected, is he going to shy away from issues that are really hard for the community? So I think that's one that we need to look at. Don't know whether that's the case or not, but I just find it odd that on two of the biggest stories that have broken in this federal election campaign, the Liberal Party's come in over the top and he hasn't been able to comment.